Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some facts you may not have known about Master Yoda. So for number one, we all know that Yoda himself and his entire species was never actually fully answered or found out about, and Yoda's first name was actually never mentioned because George wanted to leave him with one name to leave the mystery that always surrounded him. There's been theories before about his first name being Minch, but that was also another Jedi's name who was a part of Yoda's species. For number two, Yoda was born on an unknown planet which still hasn't been answered to this day, and he was born in 896 BBY and sadly passed away in 4 ABY, making Yoda 900 years old when he died. And throughout Yoda's life, the amount of knowledge he had passed down to others was amazing, and to be fair, he looked well for 900 years. For number three, Yoda's height was actually very unique, coming in at 66 centimeters, but this wasn't a disadvantage for Yoda at all when he was dueling. He was the greatest duelist of his time, with only Plo Koon defeating him once during a training. For number four, Yoda was a master of Form 4, Arturu, which was breathtaking to see when he ever would duel. Especially most of the time we would see Yoda either sitting down or using his cane to walk, and when he would duel he would use acrobatics a lot like Maul to confuse his opponents and make him a lot harder target. He also showed his skills throughout the Clone Wars, but he also showed it against his former apprentice Count Dooku during Episode 2, and when he fought Darth Sidious in Episode 3 inside the Senate Hall, which is my favourite duel of all time. For number five, Yoda was found by Nakata Del Gorma, who went on to become his master and taught him the ways of the Force, and with his guidance, Del Gorma actually got Yoda to become a Jedi Master in less than 100 years. For number six, you might have seen Yoda was one of the few Jedi or Sith never to take off his robes when dueling, and this must have been passed down onto his former apprentice Count Dooku, for when he would duel, he also would keep on his robes as well. And I feel like this is a statement for Yoda and his power. He didn't mind a little pullback when he was dueling because he was in no harm at all. For number seven, when Yoda had actually gone into exile on Dagobah, he brought something rather special with him. He had brought Qui-Gon Jinn's Jedi robes, and he was actually wrapped up in his robes when Yoda died. I know Qui-Gon wasn't really in Star Wars that much. He had a great role in Episode 1. He came in and out of the Clone Wars series, and he recently popped up in the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as a Force Ghost, but he did mean a great deal to Yoda. For number 8, during the original trilogy, Yoda actually wanted Obi-Wan to train Leia instead of Luke, because he sensed a lot of recklessness in Luke, a lot like his father Anakin. Obi-Wan obviously didn't agree with Yoda with this, but he obviously wasn't wrong because of the events that happened, but Yoda wasn't wrong either. Luke ended up suffering a huge defeat against Vader during Empire Strikes Back, and if it had been Leia instead of Luke, she may have avoided this, and it may have ended differently if Leia were trained and not Luke. For number 9, during the Clone Wars, Yoda went on a search for immortality. He began to hear Qui-Gon's voice through the Force, and he was guided by him to go to the wellsprings of life where the midichlorians would spawn from. He was taken through many trials and actually fought a dark side version of himself, but Yoda passed with flying colours, and he was brought to the Sith homeworld of Moraband. When he arrived, Darth Sidious put him into a vision with Dooku and Anakin also being there. Yoda was tested to either stop Sidious or prevent Anakin's downfall, where Yoda lowered his saber, showing his selflessness and defeating Sidious's vision. When he awoke, he was told by the priestesses he could continue his training with Qui-Gon. And to finish it off with number 10, we all know Yoda as the green alien-like looking creature, but he almost didn't look like this. George's initial concept for Yoda was to be more like a garden gnome or wizard, complete with a beard, but this was later ditched off in favour of his iconic green image that we know and love today. And yeah guys, that's going to be all. I did top 10 facts you may not have known about Yoda. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments below if you didn't know some of the facts. I know there's so many more, so I could do another video on this, like a part 2. But I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and put anything you'd like to see or advice I can use in the comments below. Really appreciate the support again guys. It's really cool how I think we got a few more subscribers and the views are going really well, so I'm really happy. And yeah, have a great rest of your day and take care guys.